It was the 2016 Academy Awards. Chris Rock was hosting, and it was in the middle of the Oscar So White controversy. Essentially what was happening was, of the 20 acting nominations, none of them were for people of color. There was a lot of talk of Chris should boycott the Oscars, but he said, no, I'm going to do it. And he did what Chris Rock does. He came out, he made fun of people on both sides, he cracked some jokes, but then he got serious. And in his seriousness, he said, we want opportunity. We want the black actors to have the same opportunity as the white actors. At that point, I believe it was Glenn Weiss, who was directing the Oscar telecast, directed his camera person to put the camera on somebody in the audience. Didn't ask him to put it on Louis Gossett Jr. or Whoopi Goldberg, both former Oscar winners. Didn't ask for the camera to be put on Kevin Hart, a huge star in his own right. No, the camera went to Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman heard the words, we want the black actors to have the same opportunities as the white actors, and you could see him in the audience nodding and clapping enthusiastically. I always thought that that was a very profound moment. Now, Chadwick Boseman is no secret to taking opportunities. He had a phenomenal opportunity to play Jackie Robinson in the movie 42, a role that he absolutely crushed. He had a great opportunity to play James Brown in the movie Get On Up, which he, again, did extremely well in. There were other roles, playing Thurgood Marshall as well. He did great in that. There was a movie that he was in at TIFF called Message from the King. He was fantastic in that. Everything that he was in, he was great because he always seized his opportunities. He had a phenomenal opportunity having his education funded by Denzel Washington, something he was extremely appreciative for. And if you haven't seen it, please check out the video of him honoring Mr. Washington in his AFI tribute. He had a great opportunity of being mentored by Felicia Rashad, something that he never took for granted. But he also never missed the opportunity of giving back to the fans and being kind with them. And there were so many touching videos of that. Now, one of the big opportunities, of course, came when he starred in a movie called Black Panther. Now, it's no secret that Avengers Endgame, from a box office standpoint, is the biggest film of all time, like over $2.8 billion, and of course, being the biggest Marvel movie of all time. Would it surprise you to know that Black Panther is the second biggest Marvel movie of all time? Now, I've talked many times about events, and I believe events come along, if you're lucky, once a year, but usually every couple of years. Avengers Endgame was an event. The first Sex and the City movie was an event. Twilight was an event. And when I say event, I mean a time when people who might not usually go to the movies stop what they're doing and go. The finale of Breaking Bad was an event. The finale of Game of Thrones, whether you liked it or not, it was still an event because everybody was tuning in to watch it. When I think about Black Panther, I think about how monumental that movie was. It was the first time I got to see a superhero movie where somebody who looked like me was the hero, and that was huge. That was huge because you had little black boys and little black girls gathering around and doing the Wakanda Forever sign. It was fantastic. Now, I don't credit Chadwick Boseman with all of that, with all due respect. There was a phenomenal cast and crew behind that. But the same way that you're going to look at Iron Man is associated with Robert Downey Jr., or that Captain America is associated with Chris Evans, Black Panther is associated with Chadwick Boseman. It was absolutely phenomenal. But I don't think event is a strong enough a word. I think we were part of a moment. His passing is extremely sad for so many reasons. Sad for his family, sad for his friends. Cancer claiming yet another victim. Cancer does not discriminate. It doesn't care. It comes for you. And it's just so incredibly sad that while he was making all of these landmark films that I was mentioning, he was dealing with this illness in secret. And that's extremely sad. I don't put one life over another, and just because somebody's a celebrity doesn't make them more important to me. But I feel really bad. I feel like we've been robbed of so much talent. I never saw a bad Chadwick Boseman movie. I'm happy about that. Like, the films that he did just were such a celebration of Black history. Like, if, you know, when you're looking at a Black History Film Festival, if you don't have a Chadwick Boseman role in there, you're kind of missing out. I'm just so impressed with not only the characters that he portrayed, but who he was as a person, kind of putting out an example of what people should strive for. He was given a lot of opportunities, didn't squander them, and made the best of them, and made these roles that will stand the test of time. I'm very sorry for his loss, and I wanted to come out and talk about it, because I think it's again just a moment that we're having right now where I want to take a moment and honor this great actor. I remember him being at the Toronto International Film Festival promoting Message from the King. And I remember being at the Q&A that he was at, and this was before Black Panther, so before he probably needed like a crazy entourage. And you couldn't have come across somebody who was more genuine and more like engaging. And we lost a really good one. And yeah, it's very sad. So rest in power. Thank you so much for all of the wonderful roles. And thank you all for checking us out. Take care.